Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a new vlog. The sun is shining. It's moderately temperate, so I'm in a very good mood today. It is Wednesday today, and we've got a really exciting rest of the week, which I cannot wait to bring you along to. We actually have a very, very special wedding to attend tomorrow, and I thought we could get ready together. That's going to be just the most magical day. And then we actually have a road trip down to the north of France happening on Friday, it's just going to be the loveliest weekend in an area in France I've never been to before, so I have lots of packing and sorting and organising I need to get done. My boot is not shut. My car is misbehaving lately. It's got an appointment at Porsche coming up, and honestly, the amount that things cost. Okay, comment down below, what do you think it costs to replace a car key? It is ridiculous. It is honestly mind-blowing. I also have a problem with my sunroof, and the quote for that brought a tear to my eye. Now it appears something dodgy is happening with my boot. Everything that I paid for as an extra on this car, when you add together all of the costs of those extras, that cost was the same cost as our entire cost of buying the Mazda, which we had when we lived in London and we've now given to my brother. It's crazy. I will always be a Mazda stan. I think they are great cars and really, really good value for money. I love this car, don't get me wrong. I really, really love it. And I can't actually see a world that I will replace it because I love it so much. And the thing with Porsche cars is that the design very rarely changes, so it always looks super new, even though this is now 5 years old. Is it 5 years I've had this car, I think, or at least 5 years ago that I designed it. Anyway, boring car chat alert. So I'm at Daylesford. I've done an unusual combination this morning. I've never done it this way before. I did reformer Pilates and then a strength class with Lauren. We're not having one-on-one PT sessions anymore. To be honest, it just got too expensive, and so I'm doing a lot of her classes, which feels a bit cheeky, but it's great that we can still train together. And now I've got a meeting here at Daylesford with lovely Paula, who I've not caught up with in a very long time, so it's going to be a gorgeous lunch in the sunny courtyard. So I'm going to go in and do a little bit of shopping. I want to have a look at the new Daylesford garden candle collection, that's brand new, and get a few bits from the farm shop. Something I need to do really quickly is to use my Aura ring sizing kit. I think I mentioned in the last vlog I've somehow lost my Aura ring, although I think I left it at Soho Farmhouse and I'm going there tomorrow, so I'm going to check the lost property. But they have just brought out a new Aura ring, which is a little bit smaller than the original one. So, do you know what? This packaging is very Apple-esque. They're trying to be, and they are, very, very sleek. And when you buy an Aura ring, they send you a sizing kit. So you're meant to wear their kind of tester ring for 24 hours, because I guess your finger swells and things like that, and then decide what size you should be. So you get these little testers. I think 8 looks about right. Oh no, maybe 7. Ooh, teeny weeny. Yeah, 7. So you wear that for 24 hours. Do I still want to keep it on that finger? I see some people doing it on their thumbs. That finger. No, I think I like it being on that finger. So size number 7, perfect. And then you just log back into your account, tell them what size you are, and then they send you your ring. Anyway, I better get cracking into the shop. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. What do I need with me? Nothing. Okay, let's go. I feel like this cabbage leaf homeware collection is just so timeless. So lovely. And I love the green and white stripe set. I actually haven't eaten at Old Spots in ages, which is the kind of pizza and pasta restaurant, and I love the sound of a pea and herb risotto. Hello again, my darlings. I'm back home again after a lovely lunch meeting with Paula and just a really nice morning and early afternoon at the farm shop. Now, I feel like we need to discuss the elephant in the room. The title of this video, I'm sure you're wondering what on earth, when are you going to tell us about that? I'm going to wait until Charlie is here to go through all of that with you. But I'm sure based on the title of this video, you can understand why I want to do what I'm about to do. So I have got, thanks to my lovely friend Hannah, some Palo Santo here. It looks like this, and Palo Santo is actually Spanish for holy wood. It's a type of wood from a tree that's native, I believe, to Ecuador. And the Palo Santo pieces like this are harvested from naturally fallen branches that have laid on the earth for at least 4 years, according to my research. And what many people do is they light the Palo Santo and they use the smoke to help them spiritually, maybe with meditations and things like that, but also to clear energies. So maybe you've had a particularly anxious trip, or you've experienced something that you just want to like clear out the bad energy or clear the energy of a space like your home. Palo Santo is meant to really help with that and clear the energy of a space. So naturally, that is something that I've been wanting to do ever since the incident happened. So I'm going to light this, and then you start from your front door. I don't actually know which door we would call our front door. Maybe that one. You move it around in a clockwise motion. You can say a little bit of a meditation as you go, like I use this Palo Santo wood, or I call on this Palo Santo wood to clear the energy of the home, things like that, and move through the house until the smoke comes to an end. I've never done anything like this before. People have also said that I could use sage as a nice kind of thing to clear the energy as well, and we've got a lot of sage growing in our garden, so I might make a sage bundle too, but let's start with this. Okay, now it's smoking, we can start the cleansing. Something is actually telling me to start here. That is kind of strange. I just went to cleanse the energy on the space by where I sleep, and my bedside table was out at an angle, and the photo of Charlie and I, our wedding photo, was in the wrong place. And Charlie's really OCD. Like, I just don't think he would have moved stuff. That is so weird. No one else has been here today. Good job, I have cleansed the space. That's his absolute favourite place to sit in the whole world. Does anyone else's sausage dog think they're a mountain goat? that was a lovely experience. The house now smells absolutely incredible. It smells so like slightly spicy and woody and smoky. Unsurprising. I wonder if you can get like incense sticks of Palo Santo, or if that just wouldn't work. I don't know. But I also just felt an urge to go and ground myself outside, like touch some grass, bring down any slightly anxious feelings. I even put on my 𝑭𝒂𝒕𝒖𝒓𝒆𝒅 shoes, which have been my house shoes / gardening shoes. These have actually got conductive technology, so when you wear them, if you wear them outside, you're grounding and connecting to the earth's energy, which I think is amazing. And if you can see, they've actually got a leather footbed, or insole, so you're meant to wear them without socks, which just enhances that barefoot feeling, and you get all the benefits of grounding, all the benefits of barefoot footwear, and you just feel a whole lot more connected to the earth. And obviously because they're 𝑭𝒂𝒏𝒅 barefoot, you get the leg and foot strengthening benefits of the barefoot sole. And also the underneath, I read this recently, that's inspired by ancient footprints. So it's shoes designed to take us into the future, but with ancient wisdom in mind, which kind of links into the Palo Santo. So I'm going to, yeah, just do a little bit of time in the garden just to chill myself out. I think I read in my neon book that I read in the sauna that you're meant to do, that ideally we should all do at least 15 minutes outside every day. You might think, oh, easy, I definitely do that, but then when you really think about it, just going out to your car and then into an office, or out of your car into a train, things like that, do we actually all spend 15 minutes outside? I don't know. And I also saw a post on Instagram which was kind of, I saw it when I really needed to see it. It was all about reducing anxiety of gardening, because like I said a couple of vlogs ago when I had my red light mask on, I can find myself getting a bit overwhelmed, and they were saying just make sure you do one job every day. It could be deadheading, it could be sowing some seeds. So, and I said to myself earlier this year I was going to do that, but I haven't, especially the last few days when it's been really stormy. So yeah, let's get outside and try and do a few jobs just so I feel a little bit of gardening accomplishment.
Do you want to come and help Mummy in the garden? Do you want to come and help Mummy in the garden? Come on then. Come on, Sluggy Dax. Oh, I know it's been a tough day. It's been a tough day. So before an hour or so of gardening, it's time to do a little stock take and see what needs to be done. Look at our lavender bush. It's just gone absolutely wild over there. We've done a severe Chelsea chop on some of the salvias that were just actually impacting how things around them grow. So they've had a brutal haircut. Church bells are working again. They stopped working for quite some time, but it's fixed now, which is great. I need to snip a few lupins if they start to look sad. Obviously the bees are still loving it, but they've got plenty more to pollinate. Look at this. You having a nice little afternoon snack? Oh, I really missed the church bells. This is the first time I've heard the 4 p.m. song in a while. I need to do some serious rose deadheading, but I will actually be saving the petals for the wedding tomorrow because they're going to be used for the confetti throw. So actually I think I'm going to do that first. That's a really lovely job to do. And then in the greenhouse I need to give everything a water. I have got a few seeds here that I have earmarked for sowing this month. A few things need potting on. Some of my kale is looking good. I reckon we could even have dinner in here tonight. Did I mention we've got George and Petra coming over for a barbecue? A few of my little seedlings. Do you know what? I do need to do quite a lot of seed sowing, but because I'm going to be away a bit over the next couple of weeks, I don't trust that Charlie will remember to water everything. And then down here, the tomatoes are really ripening. You can see quite a lot of red ones down there. There is still something that's getting into here and eating them. Most of the things I planted out here have been eaten. That's a shame. And even though they do look quite scruffy, I have got quite a lot of peas and 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 coming up here. So I'm going to do a big old harvest. Yeah, loads of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, that's fantastic. I'm going to do a big old harvest here. Well, I say big, it's going to be a fairly moderate sized harvest, and put those in a nice orzo salad. This is what happens to chard in my garden. So I need to put my netting up. I'm going to start some more off in the greenhouse and then net it. And the courgettes are just starting to spring to life, so I'll definitely give those a little feed. Maybe any gardening experts can help me here. Oh look, first broad beans, yay! However, lots of my broad bean flowers have gone black and they won't turn into anything, so that's a real shame. I need to pin that in. Oh, that should do the trick. And they're far from ripe, but we have got the first of our little raspberries. I literally got my nails done yesterday and I'm now plucking things from the ground, ripping off rose heads with my bare nails. This is why manicures just do not last on me. I'm pulling up some pak choy that's just bolted. I think I put this in the ground too early this year. Do you know what? I probably could still use that, but it doesn't look its best. So, not a good year for pak choy for me. Put my hat on because it was so sunny, and now there is the biggest, darkest storm cloud coming over from that direction. So I think I'm going to head into the kitchen and start making the salad for tonight. This is my first harvest basket of 2026. This basket is the perfect size. I've got loads of herbs, loads of strawberries, some mange too. Didn't even get to the rainbow chard yet. Loads of salad leaves, some radish. Oh, it's just so exciting. This is why I garden. It's so rewarding to just be able to come into your garden and get ingredients for nearly an entire barbecue. I did have to buy the aubergines from Daylesford, but these strawberries smell so fresh and incredible. I'm gonna give everything a good wash and start cooking. Hello my darlings, it is Thursday morning, it is wedding day today, so we've got our road trip. We're heading off just before lunch today, and we had such a nice dinner last night, lovely barbecue. It was a really nice evening in the end. So this morning, before I head into the gym, I'm going to start off a focaccia, because when I did a road trip for Freddie's hen do, and I drove 4 hours to Norfolk, and I made a really nice focaccia sandwich to have on the road, and it was really, really good. So I thought I would recreate that today. So I've got some flour. Can I mix self-raising flour in with strong white bread flour? I just seem to have so much self-raising flour, so I thought I'd just shove some in and hope for the best. A little bit of sugar in the recipe, and then some nice olive oil. This is a Spanish olive oil, organic extra virgin olive oil from Citizens of Soil. They've got an olive oil pop-up on Monmouth Street in London at the moment, which I showed you a very quick clip of at the end of the Dior in Paris vlog. Made by the Segura family in Sevilla in Spain, regeneratively farmed, milled on the day of picking. Apparently it pairs well with tomato pasta, green salads and grilled peppers. Lovely. Almost sounds too nice for drizzling over focaccia, but I feel like a good quality olive oil just elevates everything. So I'm going to get that rising, then I'm going to head into the gym. I didn't end up using all of the herbs last night, so I've just shoved them into my DIY cleaning spray with some white vinegar. That's just very handy, especially for any dog mishaps. And this morning, I don't know if I'm going to do a full workout or just a stretch, because I did quite a lot
yesterday. So I popped on this really nice, more kind of soft, lightweight, comfortable gym set. This is from a brand called 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, 𝑙𝑜𝑣𝒐𝒏𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 relaxing all day at home. And then I've got on my Motus Vivo trainers. Oh, I'll just show you over here. That's a little bit easier. The reason I'm showing you these is because Vivo's 25% discount, they actually extended it to the end of this month, whereas we thought it was going to end in June, so you can still get 25% off Vivos. So I showed you my lovely Census ones yesterday, which are the ones that I wear like out in the garden, out and about, here, there and everywhere. I wear my leather Geo court shoes. I wore them to Queen's tennis day before yesterday. They're my kind of London elevating an outfit smart kind of trainers. But then whenever I'm actually training in the gym, I wear my Motus Strength. So I'll just take them off so I can show you the movement of the sole. When you're training and you're doing things like lunges or squats or anything with weights, you want your foot to be able to kind of grip the ground and use all of the muscles in your toes and in your feet to really help with your stability and balance and posture. And normal trainers that have a really chunky sole, you just can't really get that because your foot is essentially on like, you're balancing on a solid surface. Whereas with these, the thing with the Vivo shoes is that the sole is really flexible. So your foot actually moves in the way that nature designed it to move. So overall, really fantastic for the things that I just mentioned, but also long term for your foot health, for your knee health, for your leg health, for your hip health, for your back health, just everything. And Charlie and I both bang on about 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 all the time because we just absolutely love them. And it's a little bit of like a club. So if any of your fellow gym goers or you see anyone like on the train or at the airport wearing Vivos, it's almost like this nod of like, yeah, he knows or she knows. It's just like this unwritten like thread of people that just get it, which is really cool. So if you're looking for a new pair of gym trainers, the Vivo Motus, they are the best kind of strength training shoes, I would say, from Vivo. They are the ones that I wear. PT Lauren wears them, Charlie wears them, nearly everyone at Soho Farmhouse and Bamford wears them because they're just the best. And they come in a few different colours. I like the white and cream ones, Charlie loves the black ones. Yeah, so whatever I decide to do in the gym today, whether it's Pilates or rowing or running, I hate running so it won't be that, or strength training, these will be absolutely perfect. And I think it's Josie 25, still valid for a little bit longer, until the end of this month, so make the most of the discount code. I recommend these, the tracker boots. I'm just hoping that one day Vivo are going to bring out wellies because then I can literally wear them all the time. So apparently the cool thing to do right now is to wear socks that come up a little bit higher. I'm very much a trainer sock kind of girl, but apparently the cool kids are wearing their socks up a bit higher, so I thought I would try that today, put it into practice in the comfort and safety and anonymity of our own gym. So yeah, there we go. These leggings though, super comfy, and I love this chocolate colour. One of those times when I go into the gym not really kind of in the mood to do anything too tough, and then I go on the Peloton app and get inspired by like a 20-minute full body workout, and it ends up being a really good one. So feeling great after that. I then went into the kitchen, looked at my focaccia dough, and I was like, why has this not risen at all? And then I realized I forgot to put the yeast in it, which is very silly. So I just put it back in the Thermomix, added the yeast, re-kneaded it, and I could tell straight away, like, it had the elasticity, it had the stretch to it, so hopefully it's now gonna start rising. Okay, I've just popped on some of the Clarins Cryo Flash Cream Mask for instant tightening, firming and glow boosting. As you might be able to guess from the name, this is inspired by cryotherapy, so it's got like a really kind of almost tingly, icy feeling when you apply it. I feel like it's such a good one post-workout when your skin maybe feels quite warm and a little bit flushed. But also I think if you are going on holiday, especially if you've got a special event abroad or during a heat wave, this would be amazing. Imagine if you're attending a wedding abroad. This would be so good to apply the day of the wedding. This just leaves your skin really radiant, really smooth and soothed and hydrated. It's one of those really lovely masks where you actually leave it on the skin for like 10 minutes and your skin will drink in as much of the ingredients as it feels like it needs. And Clarins is one of the OG nature-derived brands. It's one that I've loved for many, many years. I'm sure so many of us grew up with Clarins. The double serum, who else's mum always used the double serum. I've got a new one of these from Boots. I actually got the little mini one because it's going to be great for our upcoming travels. But yeah, this is like a really unusual gel cream consistency, and it's just going to leave me with lovely radiant skin. So for 10 minutes while this works its magic, I'm going to enjoy my smoothie. This is day 3 of this smoothie that I made a few days ago. Berries, bananas, acai, just the usual blend. And I'm going to do some dry body brushing as well. So I'll be radiant on my face thanks to the mask and radiant on my body thanks to dry body brushing. That's something that I really like to stick in the routine of in the summer months. So I'm going to do that, which you don't need to see. And I'm back feeling very, very silky smooth from head to toe. Now I'm going to continue my little pamper routine, pre-wedding pamper. I'm popping on the Clarins iconic, legendary double serum straight after getting out of the shower. I feel like my skin is just calling for something calming and soothing and nourishing and lovely. I feel like this has to be probably one of the most iconic serums in the whole world. Because mine is half empty, or half full I should say, you can really clearly see the like dual aspect of it. That's why it's called a double serum. You can get all of your Clarins favourites from Boots. This is the one that lives here, and then I've just got my little mini version to take with me on our various travels. Double serum is known for being really fantastic for anti-aging. It's got 95% naturally derived ingredients, full of amazing botanicals, and my favourite ingredient within this is turmeric. And curcumin is the active compound within turmeric, and just like when we eat it, it's got so many, don't eat this, put turmeric in your latte, all your recipes. But whether you eat it or find it within a skincare product like this, it's got so many amazing benefits, full of antioxidants, which is why it's so great to have it in your diet. But also when it comes to skincare, super protective for UV, for blue light, for environmental aggressors. It just really helps to protect the skin. Helps with redness as well. And obviously turmeric is that bright kind of golden colour, and although it doesn't stain your skin, it just gives the most amazing kind of luminosity and brightness. So it's an icon for a reason. And then I'm going to follow with Clarins Extra Firming Day Cream, also known for its anti-aging benefits. It's a really gorgeous, very luxurious, creamy consistency. I love the packaging as well. I'll leave all of these linked down below on Boots. When it comes to skincare that I know that I love, I actually always prefer to buy it online. It's just so much easier. And then anything that's maybe new, I want to feel the consistency, that's when I will go probably into a Boots shop on the high street. And something really special about the ingredients within this, it's got 3 kinds of collagen polypeptides, so it really goes into the skin and helps the skin's natural collagen production. So for that kind of juicy, bouncy, youthful looking skin, this is just an absolute classic. Now I like to give my moisturiser and serum maybe like 10-15 minutes to infuse and sink in before I use my SPF. So I'm going to do my body lotion, I'm going to get started on my hair, and then we'll continue with wedding guest beauty prep. I've put the focaccia in the oiled tin, so it's having another 30-minute rise. I'm going to pop on my SPF now. My moisturiser and serum has all sunk in. This is the one from Clarins that I'm going to use, and it's their UV+ Skin Barrier. Firstly, I love the size. This is so good for popping in any travel bags because it's so dinky, and the consistency is really lovely. It's very light, so it feels like it's not tacky on the skin, and you can pretty much pop your makeup on top straight away. It's so great if you're getting ready for a wedding. This in particular is also, I would say, an amazing one if you're doing any city trips or just generally for like day to day, because it's got their signature 5 botanical blend, which contains plant-derived extracts which are fantastic for protecting the skin against pollution. So as well as UV rays, you're also getting that pollution protection, and it helps to reinforce the skin barrier, so you're getting mega protection within your factor 50. I don't find that this one gives flashback either, so great for any days like a wedding day when you think you're going to have lots of photos taken. You can see it's almost given like a silky finish to my skin, which is perfect for applying makeup. Don't forget to take it right up to the hairline. Okay, I'm gonna dry my hair a bit more and then we'll do some makeup. Okie dokie, it's another 15 minutes later. If you can hear a little hum in the background, that's my diffuser that you're actually balanced on. It's having a little moment. So now that my skin is all prepped and protected, I'm going to do a little bit of makeup. I need to pop my hair back, so okay, if you watched my last vlog, it will come as zero surprise that I'm going to be using this. This is the new-ish Clarins Double Serum Foundation. I tried this out last week, instantly fell in love. I was really pleasantly surprised by the coverage that I got from this. I would say 1 to 1.5 pumps is a light to medium coverage because you get serum and foundation, so naturally that just makes it a little bit more skincare-y and lighter. But then if you pop on a couple of pumps, you get a really beautiful full coverage foundation. Now I'm quite tan right now from our recent trips. I'm using L4N. I think this is probably the deepest one that I will go with this summer. I love the packaging. You only have to press the pump once and it automatically gives you a pump of 2/3 of the lovely foundation and 1/3 of the serum. I'm going to do 2 pumps today, mix it together on the back of my hand. And as you might be able to guess, because it is a serum foundation, you get so many skincare benefits within this. Clarins is a French brand, and there is, let me try and remember this, an organic provincial reed extract within this, which is known to help with skin aging or neutralize the effects of aging from lifestyle. And then I'm just using a brush to buffer this in. This is just one kind of light layer. I can definitely build this up if I need to. Look how perfectly that blends into my skin. Other skincare bits in here, there's hyaluronic acid, there are peptides, there's even squalane, I never know if I pronounced that correctly. So amazing for, again, collagen levels, skin hydration, and it really hydrates the skin from the deepest levels. So again, thinking about summer holidays, this is going to be fantastic after a day in the sun, with your factor 50 on, of course. But it's not just that, there are 14 active ingredients in here, naturally derived active ingredients, including papaya, which is known for helping the skin to glow. So they've really thought about everything. And what I didn't mention is that actually there is a dial at the top, so you can twist this. There's a little plus and minus to alter the amount of serum or the amount of foundation that you get in each pump. I'm just going to leave mine right in the middle. I think you can kind of see from the camera the finish. I would describe it as a luminous satin finish, so it's not completely matte, it's not completely dewy, it's that perfect in the middle, which I think on a day like a wedding day, when you know you're going to have loads of pictures taken, it's the perfect finish. Maybe I could actually go a shade deeper, but I think this is the colour of my actual skin, and then I'll bring it in line with my fake tan. Actually no, this is a real tan. But my face is always a bit paler. I always think it's good to go with your actual skin colour and then build up, if it needs to be a bit deeper, with bronzer. That always looks a lot more natural. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. So there we go, that is my wedding guest foundation of choice. I would say if you're the bride, it's fabulous as well. You guys have seen me do my makeup a million times, so I'm going to pop on my bronzer, my blush and everything else, and then I'll come back to you for the finishing touches. Okay, I've added the rest of my makeup. You can see how the skin just glows through. I don't have any highlight on, just my usual bronzer and blush, and the skin just looks radiant. I'm going to finish with Clarins Lip Perfector, which I've been using since my school days. I used to keep one in my blazer pocket at school. I have the shade 6. Yeah, number 6. And this, just like the foundation, is also very skincare infused. It's got mango and shea butter in there. So I think it's like 96% skincare formula. So it's super hydrating and balmy. Amazing for top-ups, amazing for in the handbag. Gorgeous over lipstick, or gorgeous by itself. Sorry, whenever I talk, my diffuser is going off. So that's going to come with me. So pretty. In my handbag. I'll show you what else I'm putting in my wedding guest handbag. I'm 99% sure I'm wearing this beautiful Rixo dress behind me. So my lovely geranium embroidered bag is perfect. So I'll pop in my lip perfector. I'm also popping in my handbag my GHD wireless, what is with me today? My GHD wireless straighteners, because the bride has got a fabulous fringe, and I know that something that she is very important to her is that it always looks perfect, and I think it was one thing that was just playing on her mind. So I said to her, I'll put my wireless straighteners in my handbag. Luckily they're tiny. And then if we need to do a quick fringe update, then that's really easy. Should I do a comb? Yes. Little comb, hairbrush just in case, little mirror, portable phone charger. I think unfortunately I am going to need an umbrella today. A torch, memory card reader. I feel like there's, oh, tissues. I always cry at weddings, so tissues are very important. What else? Obviously my phone, probably not the camera, because I don't think I'm going to be filming anything at the actual wedding. Yeah, okay, so that's what's in my wedding handbag. I will obviously take my makeup bag with me and top up just before we get there, because like I mentioned, we've got a few hours in the car. So let's go down and finish this focaccia. Okay, my darlings, it's actually a couple of hours later. As you can see, the heatless curls are in. Anytime I have a long car journey, that to me is just perfect heatless curl time. I'm hoping they will turn out okay, otherwise it's going to be a hair up situation. We are about an hour away from the wedding venue. It's currently drizzling a little bit, but it's very good luck to have rain on your wedding day, although of course I do hope it clears up a little bit. We've just made a pit stop and I thought I would try a matcha latte, although now I'm wondering if this might have coffee in it, which would be a bit weird.
It's in a can as well, it's normally got additives. What additives has it got?
So 83% water, sunflower oil.
Lovely.
Why does sunflower oil come above the matcha? It's
sunflower oil's not great either.
No, it'll make it creamy. Natural colour, chlorophyll. Okay, that's acceptable. Anyway, I'm not going to read anymore. If it fuels me for the journey home after a day at a wedding and a night, then we'll see. Have you tried these before?
Yeah, they are amazing, but they're very clever brand, aren't they?
Why?
Like, well, I don't know any of this for sure, so this is one of my random ramblings, but I am not convinced that if you were to put those next to Haribo that they're actually that much better. They say no nasties, but there's no as far as I'm aware, there's no legislation around what a nasty is. I mean, look, I would always pick them over a pack of Haribo. They're a treat. They're never going to be healthy for you. They are a sweet, right?
That's the thing.
I just think
people are often shocked, especially with you, when people realise the amount of sweet treats that we eat. Our issue is not with unhealthy food. No, it's with trickery.
It's with
don't
stuff
go
that
by
pretends.
something like a protein bar that's pretending to be healthy when actually it's a candy bar.
The two brands I hate the most, which are massively thanks to content creators, influencers, YouTubers as to their success, are 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 and Athletic Greens. 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 way worse than Athletic Greens, because 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 basically pretend that you can have that instead of real food.
Yes.
Whereas Athletic Greens is like a supplement.
Yeah.
𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 is mostly, oh, you have this instead of, and the only situation that 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 could ever be sold to me above something else is in, weirdly, these situations, not quite where we are now because there's actually a little Waitrose there, but the average service station is quite a good study on how little real food is in them.
Yeah.
Some service stations we've been to don't even have fresh fruit in them. And therefore, you could make an argument that a thing of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 might be better than one of their sandwiches. I don't know, but you could.
Have you seen all of the SH1T that Gales have been under recently? And I love Gales, but they there's one. No, it's not UPF. There's this one particular sandwich that they have that has more salt in it than 3 Krispy Kremes, or like more something than 3 Krispy Kremes. But that's just like one. It probably is salt. And
I don't know though. Again, like last night we had, or whenever I have a steak, I cover it in salt. Is that? But it's the quality of the salt. I don't know. We're not nutritionists. We're not pretending to be. I think we all agree that all we want as a consumer is a bit more transparency. So we want to know what we're buying.
Yeah.
They're not claiming to be healthy. I just think they're clever as a brand.
They are.
Because they have got away with being a bit more vegan or vegan.
They are vegan.
No, I know, which is a good thing.
They're friendly.
Look at all the ingredients.
They're friendly in there.
But the volume of ingredients is still pretty shocking.
I know.
But you know what?
It's a treat.
I love how people always just stick things like spirulina concentrate in there because it's meant to be good for you. But anyway, they're a treat, and they're a treat. And as you say, they're not pretending to give you apps, are they? So
these are going to give me a 6-pack. I don't know what you're on about, mate. Right. Oh, they are blooming good. Do you want one?
If I have one, I can't. I'm all or nothing. I'm not going to have any. I'm going to have an apple today. It's a weekday, so for me it's a weekday. So I'm going to be.
Okay.
If it was a weekend, I'd be all over them. Right.
I've got my laptop here.
Get the camera sorted, mate.
Do a bit of editing.
And
next
we
stop,
have takeoff.
Wedding. Okay, it is about an hour later. We have had a very cozy outfit change here in the car. Charlie's popped on a lovely suit. We're actually very similar colour-wise.
Yeah, I know. We always end up coordinating.
Accidentally coordinating.
Yeah.
Taken out the heatless curls. My curls are very, very soft because my hair has been really soft and silky ever since I was at 𝑭𝒐𝐴 last week. Popped in some earrings, a little bit of perfume, and I've got my Clarins lip perfector. I'm going to mist with, oh, don't get on your teeth, Doris. I'm going to mist with some hairspray when we get to the venue. A little bit of perfume, which I'll spritz again when we get outside. Okay, we are ready to go. We're 3 minutes away, so let's go to the wedding. I probably won't film on my camera anything, so the next time you see me, maybe tomorrow morning, and I'll fill you in on all of the fun. Darlings, it is Friday morning and we are now very far away geographically from when I last spoke to you. We're now down near Folkestone and we're about to get on the shuttle. Last time I spoke to you was just before the wedding. Yesterday afternoon was an incredible afternoon. Lizzie looked absolutely amazing the whole day. It was just truly fabulous. Did you have a nice time, darling?
It was lovely, wasn't it? It was it's one of these things where when it's, even though Lizzie's not a family member, because she's part of our team, I felt quite nervous for her. And you just want, I think it applies to every wedding you go to, but particularly when it's people that are quite important in your life, you just want them to be happy.
Yeah.
So as soon as we got there, I felt more relaxed when you saw her and Finn come in, and they both seemed super happy.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the most relaxed Lizzie's ever been.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because Lizzie's a bit like me, where we're kind of always sort of, I don't know, not anxious, but always thinking about something.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they both seem really happy. It was nice to meet some of her friends, and meet her sister, meet 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅.
Yes.
And it was an intimate wedding. It reminded me of ours, really, in that it was just a nice group of people, a fairly small select group, and we felt privileged to be there.
And the flowers were incredible. The groom's mother had grown them, and she's very talented. They were absolutely stunning. It was a gorgeous afternoon and evening, and then we drove back home, had a late night and an early morning to get on Le Shuttle, which I've not done.
Into what it is like to do driving as a job.
Yeah.
And it's intense.
My poor brother.
So since last week, I had to go and get a passport in a day, so that was 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then this week I went to a funeral on Monday.
2 hours there, 2 hours back.
Nearly 3
That's
either way.
10 hours.
So nearly 3 either way, actually.
6
so that's 12
hours.
hours. That's 12 hours.
6 hours yesterday, that's 18.
And then yesterday was 6, and then today
is
like,
6 in one day.
It's nearly 7.
Yeah, so we are about to go underwater. Hope you're good at holding your breath, darling.
Yeah. I'm fascinated, I am fascinated by all of this. So just out of interest, so obviously we've been on the Eurostar a number of times. Eurostar I always think is a much nicer experience than flying, but now that we don't live in London, flying is quicker to France than the Eurostar.
Yeah.
But if you live in London, Eurostar is, and I think Eurostar's often more expensive, but I guess it is more convenient. But so we're about to get on the Eurotunnel, Le Shuttle. It is it the same tunnel as the Eurostar?
Don't know.
I'm guessing it's the same tunnel.
I shouldn't think they'd have dug 2.
No, but did they dig like 2 in parallel? Or is it, this sounds naive.
Maybe they had a really big digger, and there's Eurostar going that way, Eurostar going that way, and then above or below it, it's cars going that way. And
no,
cars
see,
going
my
that
guess
way.
would be it is the same tunnel, and then these shuttles fit in between the Eurostars. It must be the same tunnel.
Because imagine, because there would be so many delays.
But then these would be a lot bigger trains.
I know.
Because think of the height of the vehicles. You've got HGVs going on here. You've got you've got containers. I'm fascinated by the whole thing. It's a bit like when we went.
We should watch a documentary. I'll download one to watch while we're on the shuttle. Let's watch a documentary.
I was thinking about watching it with Raph and Adele.
About the shuttle. Wow. No, I'm going to watch Love Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Le Shuttle documentary. I genuinely want to know. Ferry versus train. That's a bit boring. Right. 52 minutes. I don't think the shuttle is even that long, but I'm going to download it. Okay, so
need a coffee.
Next time we see you, we will be either underwater
or we speak in French.
Yeah, in France. I was saying to Charlie, I would almost rather have a rental car on the other side, because we'd have to move all our stuff. But driving a right-hand drive.
I think you're overthinking this, though.
In France.
I think you're overthinking this. It's going to be fine.
It'll be fine. And then we've got another 3 hours tootling across the north of France.
On that note, though, I do
Normandy.
often think, and I think the UK are more in the minority actually, so we're the annoying ones. But at some point, obviously, hundreds of years ago, I wish someone had just said, "Look, can we all just agree to drive on the same side of the road, please?"
Our side.
No, I think actually probably the other side.
Really?
Because I think more countries drive on the other side. Most of Europe drives on the other side. I think it's only old British colonies that drive on.
Most people are right-handed, aren't they? And so I think our brains are slightly more
I think you're going to have a lot of people watching this saying, no, it makes sense to drive on the right.
Yeah, but hear me out. If you're right-handed, I think I'm stronger and more alert on the right-hand side. I'm right-handed strong.
I
then
get what you're
surely
saying,
the right of you should be.
So
oncoming
you telling
traffic.
me you think? Because normally this is the sort of statement I would make. But are you telling me that you think the UK is right and the whole of Europe, US?
Everyone else is wrong.
Do Australia drive on the same side as us? South Africa do.
South Africa.
I reckon Australia drive on the same side as us.
They definitely do.
Who else? There's not many. In the Maldives, I think they do in the Maldives, but that's because it's an ex.
Mostly motorbikes in the
Yeah, but it's anything that's ex-British Empire. That's the thing. I don't
getting
know.
A bit political.
This all looks very temporary, doesn't it? Whatever this is.
It does. Yeah, they sent an email
This bit's a bit
apologising.
painful.
Yeah.
New infrastructure to facilitate border controls.
Yeah.
This will be thanks to Brexit. Thanks to everyone that voted for Brexit.
Jolly good.
Jolly good.
Anyway, we'll get cracking and we'll see you Alicante.
this. I think we've been driving for about 8 hours, I would say, but we've made it. We just arrived at 𝑐hâteau in Normandy, and I'm gonna start a whole new vlog for our French adventures. So I will catch up with you guys for a filling you in session on everything that's been happening when we get back home. So for now, au revoir. Okay, so when I last picked up this vlog, we were in France, and that is going to be a whole nother vlog, but as you'll have seen from the title of this video, there's something that we decided that we would share online. Do you want to explain why we wanted to share it and what happened?
Yeah, so I guess first and foremost with YouTube, this channel is something that we've kind of grown up with as well. A lot of people that we meet sort of say how they've kind of grown with the channel, and it's the same for us as creators on the channel. And I think in the world we live in, it's difficult, where there's a lot of self-comparison and a lot of kind of content that gets put out, which is all the good side of life. Now, we don't want to be putting negative content out. We don't want this platform to be negative, because we like it to hopefully be a positive distraction from what is actually quite a tough world at the moment. But then on the flip side, we like to be as authentic and real as possible. I never want people to think, we are very spoiled and very fortunate with a lot of things that we've got, and we are aware of those things, and we are grateful every day for those things. But life isn't perfect, and there are things that we've been dealing with family members, etc., that we won't be going into detail on this video, but these are things that, as unfortunately as we get older, you face in life. I'm 36 next month, you're 34, 35 later this year, and yeah, with every year you have those little challenges and sometimes bigger challenges, and it's how you come through them. But with this recent thing, we thought, actually no, I think let's share it, because this is certainly not us playing a violin and looking for sympathy, but maybe there's some learnings from what we've just experienced that can help other people, and also serve as a warning that, you know, I think times are tough in this country and other countries generally. And so unfortunately we were away. Those that were watching the vlog might remember when we went to Wales with my brother and Petra for a week or a few days hiking. And actually we came back early because unfortunately we were burgled while we were away, which was, and still is, something I guess we're processing and is a bit gutting, to be completely honest with you. The important thing, and trying to be the positive and be grateful, is the dogs weren't home. They were with your mum, so they were safe. The house wasn't badly damaged, whilst it's very invasive and not nice to think that people have broken into your home. It wasn't trashed or damaged in a particularly bad way. Everything that was taken is of some value, some of which wasn't insured, which is a lesson which we'll go into later. It's more the sentimental items, which is a bit heartbreaking. Basically 2 safes were taken from our house, alongside some of your jewellery and a handbag of yours. And yeah, I mean, ironically, the item I want back is the watch that you got me for our wedding, which I'm at peace with. Maybe I'll be able to replace it later. But we're maybe even at the point where we're like, we're not going to replace these items because they make you a target, which is a sad place to be in this world, if I'm honest. But the other item that is really heartbreaking for me even more, forgive me for saying, is my granddad's watch, which is probably the cheapest watch that was in the safe. An 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, which obviously he's no longer around. It's a watch I remember him wearing, and I may never see it again. I hold a hope that maybe it might turn up, because as I say, it's actually of no real value to anyone. But yeah, I've talked a lot, but the reality is it's something that has woken us up to the fact that yes, we live in the countryside. We have got an alarm system, we have got security cameras, but probably we didn't have as many cameras as we should have, or could have had, and we were probably a bit cavalier. As people watching this might realise, we want to keep this channel as authentic and as real as possible. Obviously there's always a delay on the YouTube videos. On Instagram, we try more than some to keep it as current and as relevant as possible. A lot of the content we create is garden related. We don't want to be putting it live 3 weeks down the line. But when we go on holiday and when we're abroad, we do often delay our Instagram stories and things like that. So if there is anyone watching this video that is in any way linked to what's happened, which unfortunately you have to start thinking that potentially we were targeted through YouTube because they knew we were away, our stories are normally not live. Stupidly, that the day we were burgled, we did post some live Instagram stories from the top of Snowdon, having just climbed it through pretty tough conditions.
That was, I think because we were in the UK, not on holiday, we just kind of forgot about our usual rule of not posting live when we're not at home. Yeah. Because when we're on holiday, you guys won't know that we're on holiday until we're back in the UK and back in
And we wish
house.
we could let everyone know real, because we want to, as I keep saying, we want this channel to be as authentic and as current as possible.
It's also for like 𝑿𝑎's safety and whoever's house sitting for us, their safety as well. That's another reason why we delay.
And I think that's important to mention, that whenever we go away, without going into too much detail, this house has always got people in every day, whether that be our amazing housekeeper, whether that be the girls that work for the team that were in this office. And then when we're on holiday, we always have someone house sit to look after the dogs and to be around. We also have a farmer in the village, Martin, who's more like a family member now, who'll come and help check in on the house. So we already have things in place. It is just typical that trip, because it wasn't a trip abroad, because we were only away for a few days, that evening there wasn't anyone in the house, which is very rare. And we're not obviously going to go into too much detail, but it's safe to say the depressing thing is a lot of what was taken wasn't insured, which is a lesson to us, and it's a lesson to all of us to read the fine print of your insurance policy.
Especially if you have like home contents insurance, because certain things that are over a certain value
are not covered. So like, for example, without going into figures, obviously there are people out there that will have more expensive watches or a nice handbag or some nice jewellery or whatever it might be. With our insurance, and look, I'll be honest with you, I do feel a bit let down by NFU. We insure many properties with them, obviously, and we are in the process of, reviewing whether we'll continue with them, because I do feel a little bit let down. It's small print that we have signed and agreed, but it feels a bit crooked, to be honest, and everyone should check this, in that whilst our contents insurance is X amount, we can only claim a certain amount per item. So, using a figure, let's say there was a watch that was worth £15,000, we can actually only claim £7,500 on that.
Really?
Yeah. Now, it feels a bit crooked to me, because I know on the phone calls we have with them, we explain what items we had. There were mistakes we've made, because obviously, like all of us, over 6 years of living here, things change. I think I owned 2 watches when we moved here, and then obviously I purchased one, we had one from the wedding, etc. As I say, these are all materialistic things. The important thing is we're safe, and it could have been a lot worse. We are now, unfortunately, we will get an insurance settlement. It won't be anywhere near what we're due, but that's life. But the depressing thing is most of that is going on our new security system, which is an eye-watering quote, which it's sad. I wanted to live in a house where we didn't have cameras everywhere. I wanted to live in a house where we didn't have alarm sensors all around the garden, and live in a house where we could allow people to deliver parcels into the property and have that trust. Unfortunately, we can't have that now. So it's, I joked, the alarm system guy, we've got an amazing company. Actually, I'll shout them out, 𝑭𝒆𝒂𝒕𝒖𝒓𝒆, really local, really amazing. They've done stuff at Soho Farmhouse, they've done stuff at 𝑭𝒆𝒂𝒕𝒖𝒓𝒆. Really amazing, young team, but really innovative. And he said, if a squirrel sneezes in your garden at night, the village will know. And unfortunately, that's where we have to be now. We've also had to put barbed wire around the boundary, all sorts of stuff, and it's not stuff you want to do.
And the ironic thing is, we no longer have anything worth stealing.
We don't have anything worth stealing now, and I think the reality is we'll go through, you go through, as I say, this is not, there's a lot worse things happening out there in the world, but you go through these sort of peaks and troughs of grateful that it wasn't worse, and then you start justifying things, and you're like, oh, well, it could have been worse, and oh, we should have been more careful with cameras, and you're like, hang on a minute, we're living in a country that is a great country, and this stuff shouldn't really be happening. That's a conversation for another time, because I think that's a dark place where, unfortunately, burglaries are on the up, and the police work very hard, but they're very overworked, and the deterrent for burglary is quite low in this country, which is a problem, I would suggest. I won't bore you with all the details, because we actually do know where, unfortunately, our burglars came from due to Apple AirTags in our safe, which we will be doing again. And so
maybe we should pepper this story with a few of our tips. So on that note, it was actually, when we found out this had happened, we're 4.5 hours away on Anglesey, obviously completely ruined the end of the trip for us, but we're in such a crazy headspace
you know, there's a million things going on in your head, like FaceTiming my mum for her to
make sure she's okay,
make sure she's okay, make sure the dogs are okay, but also she's FaceTiming and showing us around the house so we can see what's missing, and we're on the phone to the police and things like that. And then we all as a four went for a walk, George, Petra, Charlie and I, came back, and I guess the walk kind of cleared our heads a little bit. And it was then, after the walk, that George actually said, do you guys not have air tags on anything? And we hadn't considered that initially. And then, of course, we realised, we both checked the Find My on our phones, and we realised that Charlie's passport cover had an air tag, was it 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅?
Yeah.
Built into the passport cover.
Yeah.
And our passports were stupidly in one of the safes.
And this is so I think this
Let's talk about that tip afterwards.
Yeah.
I can just carry on the air tags.
Sorry, yeah.
And then the expensive handbag that was stolen, which ironically I never even shared that I had purchased this
because
bag,
of your worry about
because
this.
of my fear of, firstly, I didn't like the showy off nature of it. I'm not naturally a showy off person,
but it was, you know what, I think this will resonate with people, that we all have a luxury item, maybe not everyone, but things that, whether it be even, you know, something garden related, could be a car, it could be a piece of jewellery, it could be a fashion, it could be a dress. You know, we all have these things we grow up aspiring and loving and thinking, oh, maybe one day. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's being grateful for those items.
Yeah.
You certainly weren't going to go and buy 10 of these things.
Yeah.
You wanted just one, and you waited and waited and waited for the right one in the right colour, beautifully crafted. You know, and it was a dream, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're very sport with a lot of what we have, in the same way that it was your dream to have a mulberry handbag one day, and you were able to achieve that.
But I never felt the need to share that handbag online because, like, I just didn't feel the need to. And I know that a few of you guys spotted it in like the corner of it in a few things.
And that's where it gets you thinking, doesn't it, in terms of... It does.
And it's not because you guys spotted it. It's... I'll be really honest, I'm sure that the trolls talked about it on some of the horrible websites, and I think that that's maybe where the thieves found out. They probably type in that certain type of handbag. And
well,
anyway, that's
I'm going to say that the reality is, sorry to interrupt, but the reality is, we won't be the first people on YouTube to get burgled, and we won't be the last. And unfortunately, it'd be great if this video could be useful for anyone watching this, whatever job you have, whatever size house you live in, whatever situation you find yourself in, to be a bit more street smart from what we've learnt. Similarly, it's not going to stop us sharing stuff on YouTube, right? We've chosen to put our lives online. It's given us an amazing lifestyle. We are very grateful for it. We get a lot from this channel too. And we're not going to let them win on this front, unfortunately. It's going to take a lot more to stop us. But there are things that we can do in future, and we will have to do.
But should I continue
Sorry,
the
go
story?
back, yeah.
So the learning, if you do have anything precious, is air tags, like honestly. Yeah. So I realised when George said that when I had purchased this beautiful bag, I'd also purchased a lining for it because I didn't want the inside of the bag to get ruined if I spilt a lip gloss or something in it, and I hid an air tag in the lining of that bag. So when George said that, Charlie and I both went on Find My, and we could see our two items at two residential houses very close to each other in... Not mentioning where, but it's an hour and a half from where we live. Yeah, we could... So basically, we know the name and the address of who burgled us. I know their names, I know where they live. You know, yeah. But what I would say is... Oh, and if anyone's thinking, why the heck didn't you get the stuff back? Because obviously what they do is... They move it on. They would have checked the lining of the bag. So we're not going to go into too much detail what the police... Because there's still an investigation going on. The police were very good, actually. Credit to them in that situation. The Wiltshire police, amazing. Giving a bit away there, but whatever. They reacted and actually went and arrested someone at that address. They found some of your jewellery in a bin in that address. It was sort of like, you know, jewellery that they couldn't sell on. Like Pandora, Monica. Yeah, nice jewellery. Jewellery. But they obviously don't see a value in it. Unfortunately, he already was wearing a tag for burglary. I've looked him up, and he's been to prison, I think, 5 times for burglary. Which, you know, it's sad that someone's in that position, and obviously they've not had a very nice life, and they've made those decisions. Much deeper conversation there as well. We're not going to go into that. But, so he obviously, so they actually moved pretty quickly on that. I would say the AirTag thing, there's nothing, we're not giving anything away here, because we had 2 safes, they were both taken out of the house. They were bolted in, they probably could have been bolted in much stronger, which we'll do in future. It's important to have a safe. It's important to put things in a safe. These were fireproof safes, which is why in one of them was our passports and our marriage certificate. Now,
Annoyingly, the crooks, for want of a better word and for want of a fairly pleasant word, don't want your passport and your marriage certificate. So actually I would say, and actually of all the things that have been taken, that's been the most disruptive, because you had to nearly cancel a work trip. It's been very difficult getting those. Credit to the passport office in the end, because we had to both drive separately on 2 different days to Peterborough, which is about 2.5 hours from here, and back. But within 48 hours, we both had passports. So that was great. But lesson number 1...
My Oura ring was like telling me to go and like meditate constantly because my stress levels when we were trying to sort the passport.
But we're through that now. So number 1, I wouldn't put your passport in a safe. I'd put it in a safe place in your house, because burglars don't want your passport.
And they don't want your technology.
And they don't want...
They came in this room and they didn't touch any laptops, cameras, phones,
yeah, look,
or anything.
don't be cavalier with it, but the reality is it's all trackable now. Definitely put AirTags in your safe. They would not have been able and had the time to get into the safes in the house. So if people know that AirTags are in your safe, that is a deterrent, because they don't want to take them away, because that is a piece of evidence. I would say number 2, obviously we have learnt massively with regards to insurance. I would really advise everyone here to check their contents insurance, whether that be for fires or whatever it is, because often you're not covered for what you think you're covered for. And that would have made it slightly less heartbreaking, because of course we'd then be able to replace some of the things that have been lost. Although of course you think, do we want to, because that's maybe what they think is going to happen. And as I say, the security, we're going to have a serious security system now after this that is even more intense. Number 3 learning, I would say, in all of this is actually also what security system people have. Now, what we have is hardwired, which was already great. Annoyingly, there was a section of our garden that wasn't. They identified that and they came in that way. That area is now hardwired.
Which is what makes us think that this was very much planned and targeted.
Yes, but without going into too much detail, the guy that was arrested in his van, which was obviously used that night and was tracked on ANPR coming in this direction, but probably used by someone else, was a Wi-Fi jammer. Maybe people watch this video will be like, oh yeah, you should have known about that. Luckily our cameras were not like that, but for anyone that's got Ring cameras, Wi-Fi cameras, criminals now are using Wi-Fi jammers, which you can buy on eBay for 30 quid. I mean, if I had the money and the means, I would sue eBay, because I think, how can they sell...
Sue the company that makes the Wi-Fi jammer.
Well, no, but eBay should not be facilitating crime. Why else would you buy a Wi-Fi jammer? So it shouldn't be available. You shouldn't be able to, but anyway. So that is a lesson, because when we lived in London, we had cameras and they were all Wi-Fi. And nowadays, literally, with a Wi-Fi jammer, you walk near that camera and it cuts off. So, not to scare anyone, but if anyone is wanting to add to their security, invest in hardwired cameras, which can be still fairly inexpensive. It depends on the wiring. So that was another learning in the experience, I would say. I think it is a lesson, speaking to the police, that things are on the rise. The country's not in a great financial place, and in times of trouble and sort of challenges, crime goes up. So everyone should be a little bit more aware, I would say. This isn't trying to scare anyone. As I say, we feel very targeted, which should make people sleep a bit more easy, because I think because we've shared stuff online, it's made us an easier target, which we were aware of. We've been aware of that. But unfortunately, once you start in this job, you can't really go backwards.
And to any other content creators, I know that like friends of mine that are content creators are moving house in the not so distant future, and my advice to them is just make sure that every trace of your new house is off the internet before you even share that you're moving house, because we moved 6 years ago and we tried to make sure that our address would stay secret, but it took like 3 vlogs before our entire address, house value, floor plan.
It's not about your house being it's more about floor plans, I think. Without going into too much detail again, from what we gather,
they knew the
layout of the house, and we don't, we share a lot of the house, and we're going to continue to, because
we've never done a house tour though.
No, and we wouldn't because of that reason, and we don't like to show the layout of the house, sadly, because we have to worry about these things. But as I say, I'm trying to be on the positive note. I think we've learned a lot from it. We're safe, the dogs are safe, Lala's safe. We are going to have a lot more security. We've got more already, and we're within the next week. Less than a week, we're going to have a quite crazy alarm system
with lasers.
with lasers outside. Quite literally, it's going to be like Mission Impossible. But it's something we wanted to share so that people realise life's not perfect, and that we're all dealing with things, and I think the important thing in these situations is to be grateful, because it can always be worse, to focus on the positives and to learn from it. There are things we could have done differently, and we will be. There are things that are out of our control. Yeah, as I say, you know, everyone needs to be more careful because this is on the rise.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what more there is to say on it.
Yeah, I think we just, exactly what you've just said is why we wanted to share it, but more because there's just a few little things that we know that we maybe didn't do, that if we'd have watched a video like this, maybe things would have been different for us. Like either we would not have been burgled, or we would have done
yeah,
this to
sorry,
catch them.
so our alarm system is now, but was not at the time, connected to the police. You can pay, I mean, look, there's different levels. I'm not going to give too much away here, but without giving it, our new system is connected to multiple parties, and those multiple parties might all turn up at the same time. Some will probably be quicker than the police, but even ninjas, exactly. I mean, look, if money was an object, I'd be hiring a Gurkha tomorrow, because I remember where I went to school, we had Gurkhas that worked as security, ex-Gurkhas, and they are the most professional, amazing. They come from Nepal. It's actually it is connected to obviously the
Stepbrother John.
Yeah, Stepbrother John. He's been to Nepal three times. Stepbrother John. Some people will get that reference. But it's important to laugh in these situations as
Ironically,
well.
they're Welsh.
They are.
Well,
no, they're not Welsh.
No.
Not Welsh at all. The Welsh wouldn't do this to us.
No.
No. Ironically,
Sure,
you know what? I'm going to say it. It's also important to reference here because it's very political at the moment, and lots of little narratives in this country that the newspapers like to peddle. We were burgled by white British men, and that is the important thing here. I'm not going to say any more on that, but it's people from our own country have burgled their own people. They've burgled us. No, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could not sleep at night knowing that you've made people feel like that. But that's a dark path which we're not going to go down.
I'm also a full believer in karma. Yeah.
Karma. And as I say, and I have sympathy for anyone that feels they have to go down that route because there are other paths. But back to the point, connect your alarm to the police. If you have an alarm, if you don't have an alarm, get an alarm. And if you have an alarm, you can connect it to the police. Don't quote me on the price, but it's as little as 60 quid a year to connect to the police. And it just means that when two sensors in your house are activated, which is normally within one room, the police are notified, and they should. I think legally they are obliged to attend your house.
Yeah.
And the police are very good, as I say. Our experience of the police was positive. Unfortunately, once again, as I always have to be so careful. From this experience, I've learned the issue in this country is the CPS, because the amount that the police need to put a burglar away, it's the Crime Prosecution Service. And if you think that we're probably not going to get justice for this, and that I'm at peace with that, even though the police have location, address, they have a van that was AMPR'd on the way to our house, not at our house, but on the way that evening. They have a Wi-Fi jammer in the car. They found your jewellery in this house. That's not enough to put anyone away at the moment, which is crazy. And I feel for the police on that front.
So frustrating.
So frustrating. And that has to change, really, to protect people. But back to that, connect your alarms to the police.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we learned from it. Had that been the case with this, I'm not sure they would have been able to take as much from us as they did. It is sad because there's sentimental things, as I say. There's a watch that Josie got me on our wedding day, which is on all the wedding photos, which I no longer have. My granddad's watch, watch that I bought you, and all materialistic. But forget the value of these things. It's just more the meaning behind them. That's what's sad.
Yeah.
And it does make you reflect on, do we need all of these things? And I you know what, I think there's other YouTubers that you may watch that we know through work and that actually I think have also had these experiences and maybe haven't been as honest because they don't feel they want to, which is totally on them, as in respect to that, because it's on you how much you want to share. And maybe that's been why they've shared content around getting rid of materialistic things. And it's sad that we have to be like that. We all work hard. We should all be able to have nice things. We should all be able to support other people. We should be able to believe the best in people.
And also you shouldn't be put off owning nice things
in the fear that someone's going to steal them from you. Because like I never took that bag into London
because you were worried.
I was worried about being a target. I never shared it online because I was worried about it bringing...
In a way, it gets to the point where you're like, let's not bother, there's no point owning one. And to be honest, if you're that brand, you need to think hard how you're going to help people, because people aren't going to want to own these things. But look, let's get it back to the positive. The positive is we're all safe. We've learned from the experience, like all these life moments. It's sad that it's happened, but don't worry, we're fine. We're going to be fine. And if this can help people in any way, then that's what we wanted. There's lots of takeaways. If I can think of anything else, I'm trying to think on the spot. But yeah, and I think it's just being more aware of your situation, your circumstance, and if you see anything suspicious, just being a bit more on guard at the moment, because I do, you know, from what the police have said, the burglaries are on the up. I mean, car theft is the big one, which they showed no interest in our cars, but then you couldn't get, well, without giving too much away, you wouldn't be able to get a car out of our driveway anyway without a code. So maybe that's why.
But friends have asked if we feel like uneasy or unsafe in our own home since it happened, and I would say no, I don't feel uneasy. But that is one of the reasons why I wanted to do the saging earlier. And something that, like, it's a tiny thing, but I'm quite a big believer in signs. 2 times, obviously, you know, I've been abroad a little bit lately, and the time that we returned from Wales, knowing that we were returning to a house that had been ransacked, and also the time that I came back from France, not this last time, the time before, both times returning back to the house after being away, there was a double rainbow over the house.
True.
And that is a sign of like luck, not luck, but protection for those that live in the house that falls under the double rainbow. If
either I or Dexter were here, actually no, if either I or Dickens were here, it would have been a different story. And I'm going to keep up with my gym workouts. I'm going to keep up with a little bit of my my self-defense. And next time we'll have a better alarm, and I'll be here, and things might end differently. But on that jokey note, that is a joke, by the way. I don't condone that. But
karma.
Karma people are cowardly. They like to burgle house when you're not home. That's the thing.
I think Anyway, so yes, we wanted to share that with you. I'm probably not going to reference it again.
No, we're not going to talk about it again, because life's moving on.
We don't like to draw on negativity.
No, and as I say, this is not a sob story. There's no, look, I'm sure people will be upset by it, and we're upset by it, but life goes on, we move on, we're going to continue to have that positive outlook. As you say, it should not, they win if you end up worrying about it. We're not worried about living here, we love living here, and actually we're going to be, positive is we're going to be a lot more secure living here now because of this wake-up call, in a way. So there you go.
We can play that game that they were on Traitors where you have to try and like jump over.
I'm going to try. No joke. So Ed from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 said that they'll try and break in a few times, like when we know, to test the system. And he's convinced that it will be flawless. But I would rate, as I say, we've not got any deal with them. We're paying full whack for that, quite considerable. But yeah, really enjoyed their advice on it. But yeah. For once, I'm running out of things to say. Well,
you've said a lot, so there we go. We've shared that with you, and
let's get on with our anniversary, mate.
What a joyous thing to do.
It's our anniversary today.
We're going to go and have a nice barbecue and enjoy this lovely weather. So next vlog you see will be our lovely vlog in the French countryside in Normandy, which is a really fabulous couple of days away. So yeah, that's going to be a nice one. So I hope this didn't make you feel too gloomy, but the rest of the vlog has been fairly cheery, so...
Yeah, and we're all good. The important thing is we are all good.
The important thing is Dexter and Dickens are okay.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even know anything. That's the beauty of it.
I think Dickie does.
Dexter did say to me that he thought that some of his Tom Ford fragrances were gone. That's one thing they took of mine. They took all my Tom Ford fragrances, which the joke's on them because most of them are out of date. So someone somewhere is currently wearing a very out of date Tom Ford private blend. Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Take your money.
Take your
off my property. You've got all the grace and decorum
of a reversing dump truck without any tyres on. How did he even come up with that? If it actually is to lift everyone up, because I reckon a lot of Americans will be watching this and they won't be aware of that. To lift everyone back up, we're going to watch it as well now. go on YouTube, type in "Come Dine With Me."
Reversing dump truck.
Reversing dump truck. Come Dine With Me is a British show that probably you do have in the US, and no, you can't play it because it'll.
What are you shaking your head at me?
Who you won, Jane?
Dear Lord, what a sad little life, Jane. You ruined my night completely. So
This
you
isn't
can
going to be very interesting for people. The reality is, watch that.
Yeah.
And it'll bring you back up. Right, let's go eat some food.
Okay, bye.